So it's just really nice to be able to get some actual video testimonials from some of my wonderful clients. And Emma has very kindly agreed to come on and chat to me about IEMT and some of the other work that we've done together. So thank you, Emma. I really appreciate that. So I just wanted to ask, like, how did you find me? Why were you looking for someone to help you? And kind of, what were you experiencing? What sent you to come see me?
Yeah, I've had a lot of trauma throughout my life, from childhood. Suffered quite significantly with postnatal depression, and then suffered quite a bad injury that led me to develop complex PTSD. And I'd tried many therapies through the NHS, talking therapies, CBT, different other types of therapies, and hadn't really found anything that had improved it enough that I wasn't suffering. I was really struggling with anxiety, depression, really significant dysregulation of emotions, constant flashbacks, and just this horrible sick feeling all the time. That was triggered quite badly by lots of different things. And it just so happened that one of my friends' parents had come along and done sessions with you, and she explained a little bit about it and said that it had made a significant difference. And I've been friends with her for a very, very long time, and our mum has suffered as well and had now started making improvements. And I thought, this is my opportunity to try something completely different. And got in touch and started the sessions with you, and it's honestly completely changed my life. I can't express how much gratitude I have for the support and guidance that you've given me to start, I would say, my healing journey, and start to learn to understand how I can improve my life and how I can get back to an even enough keel to not be suffering.
So how those things that you were experiencing, how is it limiting you in your life? So obviously you've got a family, and
it was really affecting every aspect of my life, through work, like social activities. So some days my anxiety would develop to a stage where I didn't feel like I could socialise as normal, and I'm quite an extroverted social person, but that there was days where I just felt like I couldn't speak to another person because I didn't have anything left in the tank. And work, I was constantly feeling overwhelmed, and I didn't feel like I had any coping mechanisms. My analogy is that in your life you have a bathtub, and lots of taps feed into that bathtub, and all my taps were running at full pelt, and my bath was constantly overflowing, and I had no mechanism to pull the plug or create a new plug hole, and it was just
no control or anything.
And it just felt like there was no I had a really breakdown almost in my relationship with my partner. I was really at a stage where I felt so hopeless. I felt like there was no hope for a relationship. And that was really affecting my ability to communicate and help raise my son effectively. When you're so unbelievably dysregulated and struggling, how do you help another human being navigate their life? So every aspect of my life was affected, and it was really limiting everything that I'd done. And the psychiatrists would just say, unfortunately, that's what happens when people suffer so much in their life, is almost as if I should just accept, and I was like, I can't continue to live like this, and I can't accept that this is how it's meant to be for the rest of my life.
So how did you find the sessions, Emma, in particular? So obviously you came for a couple of longer sessions with me where we worked initially with eye movement therapy, and then took you into a bit of this kind of deep relaxation so that you could kind of go back into the world gently, go back into your family a little bit more gently, so that you could, you know, be like, oh, I'm not shaken up again as soon as I go out.
Absolutely. You know, one of the only ways that I can describe it is magical, because the eye movement therapy works so quickly and in a way that's non-invasive, and I didn't feel traumatized. I felt like somebody had almost lifted a weight off my shoulders, and then you were so good at managing that afterwards, so the exhaustion, explaining how I was going to feel and compensating for that by allowing us to do the deep relaxation. I went away from the sessions feeling, although I felt physically tired because I'd been working on, you know, things that I've been suffering with, I also felt refreshed and capable of moving through, and very hopeful. That was probably the biggest thing for me, was meeting you and having that connection and feeling. Lots of the therapists I've seen, I felt so detached from them because they were very clinical, and it was just about the therapy, but it was so much more than that that you give, and that just made me feel at ease. And I feel like you are very agile and adaptive, so regardless of what I came in and presented with that day, you know, even if you had a plan, it didn't matter because you would just change and shift it to whatever I needed. And yeah, just really heard and seen and supported is what I felt. What I feel going forward.
Yeah, it's so good to see all the changes that you've had. And obviously the aim of IEMT is to use as little eye movements as possible. So, you know, once we've removed those big things that you came to me with, then it's just about the next session focusing really on, you know, what's there. And now, you know, when you come to see me, you know, for these regular sessions, like once a month or something, then, you know, it's really about a bit more of release. Where do you want to go? That kind of thing. And we only really use the therapy if it's necessary. So using like Reiki and helping you to learn how to relax the body a little bit more now. So, so if you could kind of think about the changes that you've made since when did we first start working together? Maybe May, was it?
Yeah, about then. So I think it's been the best part of 4 months.
Yeah.
And for me, that the transition and the transformation has been really rapid, but I feel like I'm completely in control, and that you're just almost weaving the ability to self-control and get bring some onus back into my life, that I can change these things and not feel helpless anymore. The most important thing for me has been about slowing everything down and really taking being more thoughtful about how I do things in my life and why I feel the way I feel. And sometimes the feelings are valid, sometimes they're, you know, from the past, you know, but I think it's that it's almost like the education that understands that it's so much more than just thoughts. It's your energy, how you stand, how you breathe, how much you give yourself. I was in total burnout for such a long time, and my nervous system was just absolutely shot. Just the smallest thing tipped me over the edge. And it's been, I feel like I am more awake and able to be aware of the environmental stimulus, but also what I'm doing to myself, because you know, I'm the only person that can truly care for me. And you know, self-care and self-love is not something that's ever been shown, or it's never been important in my life, and nobody's ever really taught me how to do it. Taught me that I need to slow down and stop moving at the pace of other people's expectations, or my own expectations that have grown through past experience. That really, this slowing down and feeling and sensation of an understanding that we are beings of this earth and that everything matters. And making the little small changes and being mindful and careful and considerate is that 1% change can affect everything. And all the things that I've done with you, the Kundalini yoga, all the breathing techniques, everything like has been a complete eye opener, and it's been
great to see you in class. It's been
nice
to see you there.
And it's beautiful. Like, I can't explain how peaceful it is sitting in a room with all these other, you know, incredible women, and being able to take your own empowerment and go, this is how I'm going to progress my life. And it's
so if you sorry, I'm
not at all.
So if you could describe kind of sorry, my computer's going to go. If you could describe the changes that you have made since, you know, we started working together in May, you know, the IEMT, you know, specifically, how has that really supported you, do you think?
So my anxiety has significantly improved. Some of the main triggers and things that would set me really into full panic attack, they have nearly been resolved, and it's allowed all the really scary trauma almost that would flash back, whether it be a vision or a voice or a smell or a sound, whatever. It didn't really matter where it came from. I'm not in it anymore. It's just a memory. It's literally just like a picture on a wall, or some of them are still like memories, as in like a moving, like a video, but they're grey with no sound and there's no feeling attached to them anymore. You know, we can't change the past, but we don't need to.
The memories are there. It's not like we're wiping out the past.
No,
like that,
absolutely. But I think that it's being able to, the changes that's allowed me to do is, you know, my anxiety's improved, so now I've got a much better quality of being in general. I've had a promotion in my work. I feel capable and competent, you know, to help my son. My relationship with him's improved, which in turn has helped him improve his relationships at school, and socially he's managing much better. My relationship with my partner has got significantly better, and we're really working through that, and it's a journey. It's not an instant fix. But for the most important thing for me is I feel hopeful. I feel like I can create change. I can do this with the support of you, and regardless of whatever I face now going forward, I know that I've got, you know, my healer in the background. That's what I like to think, as you help me heal, you know, because damage comes in all different shapes and forms, and now I'm, you know, doing lots of things more for me, and
because you've got other, you know, pillars of support as well around you, you know, which is, you know, I think working through that initial stuff has just enabled you to see, it's maybe it's for me, I know definitely when it happened for me, it was more about, you know, this, I can direct what I need now. It's not just like a big chaos.
It is, and that's it exactly. It's not the absolute constant madness that was in my head has went from 100 miles an hour down to 20.
That's great.
And it picks up, it peaks and troughs, you know, like life does.
As life does,
Yes. But I don't feel out of control anymore. I don't feel that that it's never going to get better, because it has got significantly better in a really short period of time. And my aim coming to you was to, you know, if I'm a data person, like if I could have got a 10% improvement, then that would have been a win, because it was kind of made out to me that, you know, I just had to accept that this is the way it was going to be, and that was total hopelessness. And I would say for me, you know, what I'm sitting at in 80% improvement. It's hugely impacted my life in such a really positive way.
You're doing incredible.
Thank you, Emma.
You're going to make me cry. It's not difficult to make me cry.
Facilitating that for me.
No, it's great. It's such an amazing therapy, and it's just really great. And I'm really grateful, and thank you for, you know, coming on, because, you know, reading a review is great, but it's not as impactful as hearing someone's story. I don't think it's really important. So I'm really grateful, because, you know, it's brave, you know, it's brave to face a lot of the changes that you had to go through, and you're doing amazing, and I'm so pleased. So
Thank you.
thank you very, very much for coming
Not
on,
at
and I
all.
really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thank you.